Hi everybody and welcome to a new episode of the S-Class. So thank you to all of those who subscribed to the channel and that watched the last video. Are you ready for the new pill of knowledge today? Let's see what we are talking about. Ooh, what is organic? This one is one that I get asked a lot. So if you are a scientist or a chemist, for you organic is anything coming from living things or anything containing an atom of carbon. But in the wide known use of the word organic, today we talk about those edible items that are certified as organic and that are grown without the use of synthetic fertilizers, additives, pesticides and herbicides. So let's write this down. No synthetic herbicides. These are used obviously to kill weeds, pesticides, to fight off pests that grow on the crops. Then we said fertilizers. Oopsie, I never know how to spell this one. And additives. And I think we need another D there. Yeah, so luckily I'm not an English teacher. Therefore, regarding non-edible items like cosmetics and detergents, I will cover this in another video. But for now, we are going to talk about food. Also, in organic farming, we have to remember that we cannot use GMOs, which are genetically modified organisms, and irradiation. And if you're asking, these are all allowed in conventional agriculture instead. So the aim is to produce in a more socially and environmentally sustainable manner. Since we cannot use all of these, the agriculture relies more on crop rotation, animal and plant natural fertilizers and herbicides, and also natural pest control. When we're talking instead about animal products, such as dairy or meat or fish, then we refer to organic items when the animals eat organic feed, and obviously there is also more attention to animal welfare in this case. The fact that the animals are eating organic food does not mean that they are eating their normal and natural food. So, for example, a cow, which is certified as organic, is eating organic feed. It doesn't mean that it's eating what it's supposed to eat, which is grass. So this is something to keep into account. The benefits of organic farming are obviously fewer chemicals in the environment and therefore also in our bodies, wider wildlife and more biodiversity, because obviously when you kill less you have more animals that can grow around, fewer antibiotics and obviously no genetically modified organisms. Some of the downsides that are known are that obviously with organic you usually have a lower yield, and this can be a bit of a problem. This obviously varies from crop to crop, and also you cannot reuse sewage. So in that case, it all goes to waste. And some people say that you might as well use it as a fertilizer. I disagree with this, but this obviously is my personal opinion. As far as organic certification is concerned in the EU, to label a food as organic, 95% of the composition, excluding water and salt, needs to be from organic origin. Obviously, water and salt cannot be certified as they are not crops. In order to put the organic label on a product, the producing company needs to be certified by one of the private or governmental entities that take care of this, and this varies obviously from country to country. I am covering only the EU. There are some equivalences in the world. For example, the US and the EU regulations are now considered equivalent. So if you are organic in one country, you can be considered as such in another, although there can be some slight differences. So just to show you, I have here two products that have one organic certification. So this is an organic protein powder, and you can see the EU logo. There are specific regulations on how it has to be, when this is the one that you will see most commonly. If you have a black and white label, you are allowed to use a black and white logo, but usually it should be green. And then we have a conventional pack of pecans, and you can see there is no certification. The word organic and all its translations cannot be used if the product is not certified. This is very important. There is no organic, but it's not certified. Then if it's not certified, you cannot use the word organic. So the conclusion, the natural conclusion to this video is organic healthier? Well, under an environmental aspect, for sure, it represents a better option, in my opinion. Although it has a lower yield, I don't believe that there is a real production problem in the world, because we are currently throwing away 1/3 of the production. So I think that the problem is not that transforming everything into organic would become a problem because we don't have enough food. We are throwing away way too much. So I think that is not really an issue. Obviously, it is a bit more difficult to produce organically, and we have to go back to what we used to do in the past, and it's so much easier when you can just put a synthetic fertilizer, a synthetic herbicide, and you don't need to do the work manually and pull out the weeds manually or dedicate a part of the crop for the insects to eat. That is a bit more difficult, but in my opinion, overall, it's healthier. The chemical and pesticide residue in organic food is definitely lower than that in conventional food. So this means less chemicals in general. And there was one study, I will put the link in the description, that has correlated a high frequency of consumption of organic food with a lower incidence of cancer. So based on my common sense, if I need to choose something that might be better for me and is definitely better for the environment, I would obviously go for the first one. I do understand that organic products are more expensive. I know it very well, as I have myself an organic shop. There are some products that are not necessarily it's not so important that they are certified. I will put the links to these two lists that I always recommend. One is called the Clean 15, the 15 cleanest products, the ones that are less sprayed, and then the Dirty Dozen, which is the 12 which are worse. And I usually base my decisions on what to buy on these two lists. At least I know which foods are safer and which not. So overall, obviously, everybody has their own right to decide what they want. I did not even get into the argument of frauds, because this is not something that is to be discussed here, more in a court or wherever this is appropriate to discuss. Frauds are a bit everywhere. It depends on the morals of the producers. What I can say is that there are many steps in which the organic products are tested. Myself having a certified shop, we get tested yearly. And if there is something which is not right, the whole batch is declassed to conventional, or if the limits were to be higher than the allowed ones in general, the product is removed from the market. So this is what I can say based on my experience. I hope this helps, and thank you for watching.